What you're about to see in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom will move you and remind us all why age carries wisdom worthy of our greatest respect. A 93-year-old Vietnam veteran stands before the court for a speeding ticket, but what Judge Caprio learns about his life will leave you deeply inspired. This isn't a case about penalties or punishment. It's about honor, sacrifice, and the extraordinary journey of a man who has witnessed nearly a century of American history. When Judge Caprio discovers the reason behind the veteran's speeding, his reaction becomes a powerful lesson in empathy and respect for our elders. This moment captures Judge Caprio at his most compassionate, addressing not just a traffic matter, but connecting with a man who embodies the spirit of the greatest generation. What follows is a heartfelt exchange about service, family, and the quiet dignity that comes with age and experience. Tell us, where are you watching from today? Stories like this about gratitude toward veterans and respect for elders resonate everywhere, whether you're in California, Florida, or any corner of the world. By the end of this video, you'll see why Judge Caprio's compassion toward elderly veterans has earned him admiration across the world, and why this case, in particular, became one of his most shared moments of genuine kindness. It's a calm Tuesday morning in the Providence Municipal Court. Judge Frank Caprio is moving through his regular list of traffic cases when the bailiff announces one that immediately draws the room's attention. Arthur Benjamin Chen, speeding violation, Route 95 North. Through the courtroom doors walks a man who instantly commands respect. Arthur Chen, 93 years old, moves carefully but with purpose, supported by a polished wooden cane. His neatly pressed shirt and tie reflect both pride and discipline, and despite his years, he stands with the quiet strength of someone who has faced life's challenges with grace. Arthur served his country during the Vietnam era in the 1950s and later dedicated 35 years to teaching high school mathematics. He's been widowed for 8 years, continuing to live alone in the home he once shared with his late wife, Rose, for over 6 decades. But what makes this case truly memorable isn't just Arthur's age. It's the story behind how a 93-year-old veteran found himself holding a speeding ticket on the interstate. As he approaches the defendant's podium, the courtroom falls silent. Everyone senses they're about to witness something extraordinary. Some of the most meaningful court cases aren't about serious crimes or heated confrontations. They're about everyday moments that uncover the depth of human emotion and the wisdom that comes with years of life experience. Arthur Chen's story is one of those moments, a reminder of why our elders deserve our utmost respect and compassion. As Judge Caprio reviews the citation, he immediately notices Arthur's age. His expression softens, showing the same respect he always extends to veterans and seniors. "Mr. Chen," he begins warmly, "before we talk about your case, I want to thank you for your service to our country. Please, have a seat and make yourself comfortable." Arthur nods appreciatively. "Thank you, Your Honor. It's an honor to stand before you." "Mr. Chen," the judge continues, glancing at the document, "you're here for speeding on Route 95. The report says you were driving 78 miles per hour in a 65 zone, 13 miles over the limit. Would you like to tell me what happened?" Arthur adjusts his glasses, his voice steady despite his age. "Your Honor, I was speeding, and I accept full responsibility for it. But I'd appreciate the chance to explain the circumstances." Judge Caprio leans forward, clearly engaged. After years on the bench, he knows the real heart of any case lies in understanding the person behind the violation. "Of course, Mr. Chen, please tell me what was happening that day." Arthur pauses briefly, gathering his thoughts. "Your Honor, I was on my way to Rhode Island Hospital. My grandson, Michael, he's 45 now, had been in a serious car accident. The family called me because they weren't sure he was going to survive." The courtroom falls silent as Arthur continues. "Michael is my late daughter's son. She passed away from cancer 12 years ago, and since then I've been like a father to him. When I got that call saying he might not make it, I just had to reach the hospital as quickly as I could." Judge Caprio's face reflects understanding and empathy. "Mr. Chen, how is your grandson doing now?" "He's recovering, Your Honor. It was critical for several days, but he's going to pull through. He has 2 young kids and they almost lost their father. I couldn't bear the thought of losing another loved one." Judge Caprio rises from his seat and steps away from the bench, a gesture he often uses when something deeply moves him. This time it also shows respect for Arthur's age and circumstances. Mr. Chen, at 93 years old. Were you comfortable driving at that speed? Arthur thinks for a moment before replying. Your Honor, I've been driving for 75 years and never had an accident. My reflexes are still good. My mind is clear and my eyesight's fine. But you're right. It wasn't about comfort that day. It was about necessity. Judge Caprio, tell me more about your situation, Mr. Chen. Did you have anyone else who could have driven you? Mr. Chen, my wife Rose passed away 8 years ago. My son lives in California with his family. Michael is the only close family I still have here in Rhode Island. When something happens to him, I'm the only one nearby to help. Judge Caprio asks gently, Mr. Chen, when you reached the hospital, were you able to see your grandson? Arthur's eyes fill with emotion. Yes, Your Honor. I was there when he woke up after surgery. The first thing he said was, Grandpa, you came. Of course I came. Family means everything. He continues, Your Honor, I understand I broke the law, and I'm ready to pay the fine. But I want you to know I wasn't driving carelessly. I was just a grandfather trying to reach his family in a moment of need. Judge Caprio turns to the courtroom as much as to Arthur. Mr. Chen, you've spoken about something far greater than a traffic law. The deep responsibility we carry for our loved ones, especially as we age and become the anchors that hold our families together. Arthur nods softly. Exactly, Your Honor. I'm 93 years old. I don't know how many years I have left, but I want to spend them caring for the people I love. Judge Caprio looks at Arthur with genuine respect. Mr. Chen, I'm 80 years old myself, so I understand the sense of urgency that comes with age. It's not about impatience, it's about recognizing how valuable time is, especially time spent with family. The courtroom stays silent as Judge Caprio continues. When you're 93 and receive a call saying your grandson might not make it, the speed limit becomes far less important than love and responsibility. Would you agree with that? Arthur's eyes well up with tears. That's exactly right, Your Honor. You understand, Mr. Chen, let me ask. If you face that same situation again, another emergency involving your grandson, would you make the same choice? Arthur responds without hesitation. Yes, Your Honor. I'd drive cautiously, but I'd still get there as quickly and safely as I could. That boy means everything to me. Judge Caprio looks over the citation closely. Mr. Chen, it says here you were stopped at 2:30 in the afternoon, not during rush hour. Road conditions were clear, and your record shows no violations in more than 15 years. That's correct. Your Honor, Mr. Chen, while I can't excuse speeding, I fully understand the reasons behind your actions. More importantly, I want to recognize the kind of grandfather and family man you are. Judge Caprio pauses for a moment, letting his words settle in. At 93 years old, you drove across the state to support your grandson during one of the most important moments of his life. That kind of love and commitment reflects the true meaning of family. Therefore, Mr. Chen, I'm dismissing this citation. Your fine is waived and no points will be added to your license. Arthur looks surprised. Your Honor, I don't know what to say. No need to say anything. Mr. Chen, just continue being the grandfather your family clearly cherishes. Judge Caprio then addresses the courtroom. Ladies and gentlemen, we have before us a 93-year-old Vietnam veteran who drove across the state because his family needed him. This is what true service looks like, not only service to country but also service to family. He turns back to Arthur. Mr. Chen, you mentioned you served in Vietnam. Would you share a bit about that experience? Arthur straightens proudly. I served in the Army from 1951 to 1953, Your Honor. I was just 20 when I deployed. It was a different time, but the values remained the same. Duty, honor, and service. And now at 93, you're still serving your family and being there when they need you most. That same commitment reflects the spirit of service you once showed to your country. Judge Caprio turns to the courtroom. How many of us can honestly say we do what Mr. Chen did? At 93 years old, he didn't call for help or look for excuses. He simply got in his car and went where his family needed him. This case reminds us that age doesn't lessen responsibility. It often deepens it. Our elders carry the wisdom and strength that hold families together. They are the ones who step forward when others hesitate. Arthur wipes his eyes. Your Honor, you've given me more respect than I expected. I came here ready to pay a fine, but I'm leaving with my faith in justice renewed. Mr. Chen, Judge Caprio replies, at 80 years old, I understand what it means to feel the passing of time. Every moment with family becomes more meaningful, every chance to show love more important. That's exactly how I feel, Your Honor, Arthur says quietly. Mr. Chen, you embody something remarkable about aging, not weakness or decline, but clarity about what truly matters. Your grandson is fortunate to have you. The story of Judge Caprio's encounter with 93-year-old Arthur Chen quickly spread across social media and local news. It wasn't just a touching story. It was a reminder of how we should honor our elders and veterans. Soon after, the local veteran community reached out to Arthur, inviting him to share his service and life lessons at their events. At 93, Arthur became a local symbol of dignity and wisdom, a proud representative of the greatest generation. His grandson Michael, after recovering, shared his gratitude. Judge Caprio didn't just dismiss a ticket, Michael said. He recognized my grandfather's love and sacrifice. The case ignited important discussions about how society views elderly drivers and whether age alone should define driving ability. Arthur's spotless driving record and responsible conduct challenged common assumptions about older motorists. Driving instructors soon began referencing Arthur's case to illustrate that experience and sound judgment can at times be just as valuable as strict adherence to rules, while still underscoring the importance of road safety. Judge Caprio maintained contact with Arthur, often checking in on his health and family. In return, Arthur would share updates about his grandson's recovery and his great-grandchildren's accomplishments. Arthur Chen's case became one of Judge Caprio's most memorable moments, as it revealed how the justice system can uphold fairness while also honoring age, experience, and family commitment. Inspired by this, other judges began to consider the unique circumstances of elderly defendants, acknowledging that aging brings both difficulties and wisdom that merit thoughtful attention. Now 95 years old, Arthur continues to live independently and remains deeply engaged in his family's life. His grandson Michael credits his grandfather's presence during recovery as a vital part of his healing journey. Judge Caprio often reflected on Arthur's case as a reminder that family responsibilities don't fade with age, they often grow more meaningful. As time becomes limited, Arthur's story encouraged many older adults to stay active and involved with their families, proving that age can be a source of strength rather than restriction. His life reminds us that service doesn't conclude with military discharge or retirement, it endures in the way we continue to care for our families and communities throughout our lives. Judge Caprio's decision reminded us that compassion sometimes means seeing the person beyond the rule. Arthur's speeding wasn't about carelessness, it was driven by love. His story encourages us to think about the elders in our own families, who are the 80, 90, or even 100-year-olds who continue to give their time, love, and presence. Share their stories in the comments because wisdom like Arthur's deserves recognition. If Arthur's devotion to his family at 93 touched you, share this video with someone who needs a reminder that age isn't a barrier. It's a bridge to deeper understanding and purpose. Judge Caprio often said his courtroom wasn't just about law, but about listening to life's real stories. Arthur Chen proved that some of the most inspiring stories come from our oldest citizens, those who continue to embody love, responsibility, and commitment to family. Arthur recently celebrated his 95th birthday, surrounded by his grandson Michael, great-grandchildren, and countless friends who see him as a model of grace, integrity, and enduring love. Thank you for watching, and remember, our elders aren't only people who need our help, they are guides, teaching us how to live meaningfully at every stage of life.